Recreating the full World of Tanks experience in just 24 hours. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what I set out to do. But with such limited time, I decided to focus on a few key features. My plan was to create a playable tank character, AI tanks that could fire at the player when they enter the view range, and AI that could patrol and find cover. I also wanted to design a night map with a weather system and destructible objects. So I started with Unreal Engine's vehicle template project and imported some free tank assets from the marketplace. First, I turned the tank asset into a playable character, giving it movement, turret rotation, and aiming mechanics. After that, I worked on firing mechanic using Unreal Engine projectile component. Next up was the AI tanks. I ran into a lot of trouble using Unreal Engine's AI sight sense to detect the player tank when it enters AI's view range. After spending 3 hours trying to fix the issue, I decided to build my own solution. I used a simple sphere collision as the view range and handled everything with overlap events. With more than half of my time gone, I shifted focus to environment. I used Gaia to generate a 1 km by 1 km terrain and imported it into Unreal Engine. To populate the map, I used post-Soviet village pack that was one of the free assets for September. I also created level blueprint actors from the demo asset map houses and used procedural content generation framework to generate roads, fences, and village with forest around it. But there was a problem, the frame rate. It dropped to an unplayable 20 to 50 FPS. I needed to make some quick optimizations. First, I switched to word partitioning and level streaming. Then, I enabled Nanite for all meshes and resized some of the 4K textures. These changes boosted the FPS to around 70. With the performance fixed, I moved on to setting up the night light for the map. By this point, I only had about 2 hours left, and I still needed to add destructible environment properties, the weather system, and HUD. Instead of fully destructible objects, I settled for a simpler approach, removing objects like fences and trees when tanks collide with them. I then built a basic HUD inspired by World of Tanks and finished with a snow particle effect from the village pack for the weather system. With the time running out, here is the final result of my 24-hour challenge. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this challenge, make sure to subscribe and follow my next projects. And if you want to see more tutorials and behind the scenes content, check out my Patreon and Discord links.